Hola, ¿todo bien? Welcome to the Retiro station, a famous train station here in Buenos Aires, where you can take trains out into the province of Buenos Aires, the upper suburbs. What we're going to do today, we're going to depart from this station and explore the different sides of Buenos Aires. You'll see what I mean. Vamos. So Retiro is the station that you come to if you'd like to take a train up into what are considered to be the northern suburbs of Buenos Aires. They're still pretty urban, pretty city-like. But some famous stops that Argentinians like to go to, like a day trip, or Tigre, boats, nice little river rides, San Isidro, which is actually the wealthiest neighborhood in Argentina. So, before we get on a train and go somewhere to the north, you may be interested to know that the most infamous neighborhood, the most dangerous neighborhood, as Argentinians would consider it, La Villa 31, neighborhood 31, is right next to this station. It's basically an informal shantytown, a favela, that was basically just built up without any government permission, thrown up on basically unused government land, and it's just turned into this massive thing. Should we go check it out? But to be honest, I'm kind of interested personally, so let's go take a quick look. So this area around the station and leading to that shanty town is one of the busiest places probably in all of Argentina. A lot of foot traffic here, and you gotta be really careful with pickpockets. It's summertime here in Buenos Aires, and it's hot as hell. I really need a hat, as always. ¿Es tu puesto acá? Sí, bueno, necesito una gorra. ¿Cuál es el equipo preferido por acá? ¿Boca o River?
Los dos.
¿En esta zona?
Los dos.
¿Las dos? Ok.
Boca arriba.
Ok. Nadie va a balearme si llevo uno de Boca. Boca, one of the two most famous football soccer clubs here in Argentina. They play on opposite ends of the city, and the fans absolutely hate each other. ¿Cuánto sale? 100? 500. So behind those walls that the city of Buenos Aires has erected, basically to kind of hide these makeshift buildings that were put up illegally, that is Villa 31. Villa, by the way, is the word in Argentinian Spanish for the hood, more or less. It's a place that's now infamous for criminality, but it's also the home for tons of migrants that have come from different countries like Bolivia, who are just looking for a better life. As always, there's two sides to a story. Here, we have a store of basically everything. ¿De dónde salió esto?
De Lima.
De Lima. Ah, ok. ¿Ustedes son peruanos? Ah, ok, bueno. There's literally like a gate coming up on my right here, which is basically the entrance to the shantytown, with the police watching guard over it. That's not intimidating at all. And then here, hola. ¿Qué tal? See. As you can see, right on the other side of this fence, you also have the Retiro bus station, which is probably the most famous bus station in the entire city, the most important bus station. So right between the biggest bus station and one of the most important train stations lies this shantytown. I think that was a warning. That was just thrown at me. ¿Cómo están? ¿Todo bien? ¿Trabajando? ¿Qué trabajas? ¿Ustedes son youtubers? ¿Me estás cargando o qué? Porque yo soy youtuber.
Está bien.
Pregunta, ¿este es comida china o comida peruana? Peruana y china, ¿no? Peruana y china. I haven't been to Peru. That's a genuine question. Let's enjoy our Chinese Peruvian meal here in the most infamous neighborhood of Argentina.
Sí, me pasaba mucho. Sí, me pasaba mucho porque es difícil de practicar con los nenes.
This is, no exaggeration, the biggest plate of fried rice I've ever had in my life. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's good because I've lost like 5 or 10 pounds over the past 2 months. I'm becoming as skinny as an Argentinian. But damn, I don't know if I can finish this. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? ¿Tranqui? ¿Sos de acá? Si quería alquilar una habitación acá, ¿cuánto sale? 8.000 por mes. Está bien. Es que quería dar una propaganda a este tipo. Está lindo. Hay pandillas.
Trata mucho, por eso ten mucho cuidado. No te es así, que estás dando se lo lleves, es lindo, ya te cuesta plata. Está lindo, está hermoso.
Ah, okay, okay.
Esta es mi casita mía.
Ah, es tu casita, acá. Vivo acá. Ah, ok. Qué bien.
¿Vos de dónde son?
De los Estados Unidos.
¿De Estados Unidos? Sí. Yo soy peruano.
Ah, sos peruano. ¿Y cuándo llegaste acá?
Tengo hace como 6, 7 años.
6,
Perú
7
es
años.
lindo, pero no sé si has ido para allá.
¿En Perú?
¿Has ido allá?
Todavía no. Tengo muchas ganas, muchísimas ganas de ir, pero Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu, vas a ver,
Ahí,
un cerro alto,
sí.
tremendas piedras hecho fortalezas, qué maravilla. Por eso es el ombligo del mundo. Busco Perú. La comida, que es feo. La comida, vas a ver la comida que es allá. Y
La comida es fea.
No, allá rico. Acá
Es rica.
Acá es fea.
No, acá.
No,
Bueno, es grande, grande.
Allá es original.
Okay.
Las tetas, este polito,
Sí.
lindo, original. Esto
Sí.
es hermoso.
Sí.
Llévate platita regular. Váyate con tiempo que te cuida, porque allá mismo son chorros profesionales. Allá pasa cosas que un sush te tira toda la cueva. Son dos jodidos allá. Los peruanos son bien jodidos.
Van a meter las manos en los bolsillos.
No, tú no sentiste, ni estás caminando, no sentiste nada. No, son muy profesionales. No, acá se tiende la mano. Allá no sentiste nada y ya está allá.
Sí. Quería mostrar que hay gente buena también. No hay gente buena.
Todos los peruanos son jodidos.
Señora, ¿sabes dónde está el tipo que es el dueño de este kiosco? Hay un timbre. Ah. Una botella de agua puede ser. Quiero una chica, sí. Sí, gracias. Soy yankee, perdón. Es que, sí. ¿Y cuánto sabe?
50.
50. Ok, gracias. Hasta luego. Alright, as my Peruvian friend told me, it's not the best idea to be waving a camera around here, so maybe we'll get back. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Todo bien, señor? Sí.
Una cosa es desolado,
And now we're back onto the avenue of Dr. Jose Ramon. And so, that was Villa number 31, the most infamous, feared neighborhood in all of Argentina. ¿Eh? Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? Sí, ¿qué es esto? ¿Helado?
Helado de fruta.
Ah, muy bien. No como mucho azúcar. Parece muy rica.
Pura fruta.
Pura fruta. Ah, pura fruta. Ok, bueno. Para vos voy a comprar uno. Sí.
Hay de moco, hay de chocolate, de frutilla
Sí.
con leche, sin leche, mango, banana.
Ah, buenísimo. ¿Qué recomendás? ¿Cuál sabor? ¿Qué
Para
recomendás?
hacer dieta bien, el de frutilla sin leche.
Ok, bueno, la frutita es sin leche.
Para que no engorde.
Exacto, sí. Soy de los Estados Unidos.
Ah,
Sí, no
qué
soy de acá.
bueno. Ah,
Ya, sí.
qué lindo. Su
Sí.
tierra es lindo.
Sí, no.
Estados Unidos es un progreso. ¿Quién no
Es-
quisiera ir allá?
No, acá es otra historia. Ah, bueno.
Yo conozco en la TV, cuando hay imágenes, yo veo, digo, alguna, cuando esté arriba nomás ya voy a ver
Ah, bueno.
Estados Unidos.
Bueno, un día sí, tenés que visitar. Sí.
Pero hay que saber hablar bien el inglés.
Bueno, hay muchos que no lo hablan y viven en los Estados Unidos. Está bien. ¿Y cuánto sabe esto?
80.
Así que sabes cómo decir cómo te llamas en inglés. What's your name?
My
Okay.
name is,
What's your name?
my name is Guadalupe.
Guadalupe. Okay. My name is Tom.
Ah, Gustavo.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
So very nice to meet you. Un gusto para conocerte.
Igualmente,
Sí,
señor.
Alright, so we're back at the station now. And so, that was one side of the Retiro station. Are you curious to see what's on the other side? Of course we are. Vamos. So here, right across the street, right across the street here is the Sheraton Hotel. One of the most famous hotels and most expensive, possibly the most expensive, I'm not sure, in the entire city and country. So here you have the Monumental Tower, and what was formerly known as the Tower of the English. There's a fun story with this. This was built in 1909, and it was a gift by the British community living here in Argentina to commemorate the founding of Argentina. It was meant to be designed almost as a replica of Big Ben. It's a pretty cool place. Then, however, you had the War of the Falkland Islands, and to show how patriotic Argentina was, they took down the name and changed it to the Monumental Tower. Had nothing to do with that war whatsoever. It was just British people being nice back in the what many would call the golden age of Argentina, when Argentina was considered one of the richest nations in the world. Unfortunately, an extremely common sight here in Buenos Aires is dogs like this with a collar that clearly used to have an owner, used to have a family, but they were abandoned out in the streets. Many Argentinians own a dog. It's very common. They have to be like one of the highest per capita when it comes to that. But there's also a lot of abandoned dogs as well, roaming the streets. And sometimes they get into like these big packs. And if you run into that, my advice is to stay away because they can get a little aggressive. Alright, so anyway, we're back at the Retiro train station, and I think it's time to finally take the train. We got a little bit off track there. We've got to get to the northern suburbs so I can show you the richest neighborhood in Buenos Aires, I think.